So, good morning to all. Welcome to physics class. So, in previous videos, we are thoroughly studied the momentous role of electric and magnetic field. But in this video, I am going to talk the historic task of varying magnetic fields. We know that electric field and magnetic field both source is same electric charge. A moving charges are created magnetic field, whereas a stationary charge is created electric field. And you people also studied about magnetic fields created by electric current in Ampere's law. When current is passing through the conductor, when electric current passing through the conductor, around the conductor magnetic field is created. So, by passing current we are producing electric current, a magnetic field. Here the question rises, by using this magnetic field can we produce electric current? Here current is producing magnetic field. But here our question is what? By using same magnetic field can we produce electric current? I mean, by moving bar magnets, can we produce electric current? By moving bar magnets. Can we produce electric current? Here the answer is echoing yes. So, Michael Faraday in England, Johnson Henry in USA demonstrated conclusively. So, electric currents were induced in closed coils when they are subjected to varying magnetic field. So, this phenomenon appropriately called electromagnetic induction. Now, the current topic is electromagnetic induction. So, today in this video we are going to learning electromagnetic induction. I think this is 9th chapter in your 12th standard physics textbook, electromagnetism. Now, once again, electromagnetism is nothing but what? So, when current carrying coils are subjected to varying magnetic fields, so inside the coils some current is induced. That phenomena is nothing but electromagnetism. This electromagnetism not only for academic interest, the phenomena of electromagnetism has been technologically exploited in many ways. We have thousands of applications in day-to-day life of electromagnetism. So, in physics, I mean in experimental physics, one must learn, innovate. Here the Michael Faraday has marked as the best experimentalist ever. So, Michael Faraday was legendary for his innovative skills. Now, I would like to bring the innovative skills of Michael Faraday. A simple experiment, by doing simple experiment, he invented such a great theory, electromagnetism. So, now Faraday laws in electromagnetism. Why? Because already in electrochemistry is there. There also Faraday laws are there, but here Faraday laws in electromagnetism. Sorry, Faraday experiments. Faraday experiments. The first experiment, experiment number 1, just Michael Faraday, he has taken one coil and he has taken another bar magnet. The coil is connected to a galvanometer like this, simple. This is a closed coil which is connected to a galvanometer. I think you know what is galvanometer. Is a device to measure electric currents, and he has taken a bar magnet like this. When this bar magnet, the north pole of the bar magnet, when he is bringing toward the coil, When the north pole of the bar magnet is bringing toward the coil, then what happened? The needle in the galvanometer is deflected. Why the needle is deflected? Some current is induced in the coil. The induced current enters into the galvanometer. As a result, the needle is deflected. Again, when the north pole of the bar magnet moving away from the coil, again what happened? The needle is deflected in the opposite side. Again the current is induced in opposite direction. When north pole is bringing toward the coil, the current is induced in anti-clockwise direction. When the north pole of the bar magnet is moving away, again the current is induced in the clockwise direction. Now instead of north pole, if you bring south pole, if you take south and north, again when the south pole of the bar magnet bring toward the coil, again current is induced in the coil and the needle is also deflected. Again when the south pole is moving away, again the needle is deflected in the opposite side, the current is also induced in the opposite direction. Suppose if the bar magnet is at stationary, so no current is induced in the coil, galvanometer does not show any deflection. If the bar magnet is moving towards or away, either north pole, either south pole. Now if you keep the bar magnet is at rest, now take this coil. If the coil is bringing toward the bar magnet, again what happened? Current is induced in the coil, the needle is deflected. Suppose if the coil is bringing away from the coil, away from the bar magnet, again the current is induced in the opposite side, opposite direction, again the needle is also deflected. So what do you understand? If there is a relative motion between coil and a bar magnet, there will be induced EMF in the coil, there will be induced current in the coil. If both are at rest, no current is induced in the coil. If you keep bar magnet is at rest, the coil should be moved towards and away. Or if the coil should be keep rest, the bar magnet should move towards and away. Then only we can observe the induced current in the coil. Later in experiment, second experiment, this bar magnet is replaced by another current carrying coil like this. Experiment number 2. So this is coil which is connected to the galvanometer. He has taken another coil which is connected to a battery. When this tab key is pressed, the current is flowing in the coil, but here the steady current is also create steady magnetic field around this coil. So this is called steady current coil. When the steady current coil is bringing toward the coil, toward this coil, again what happened? Some current is induced in this coil and the galvanometer shows deflection. Again when the steady current coil moves away from this, again the current is induced in the opposite direction, again the needle is deflected in another side. So here again here also there is a relative motion. So after doing these experiments, Michael Faraday has arrived for some conclusion. When we bringing bar magnet toward the coil, what will happen? The bar magnet changes the flux associated with this coil. When you are bringing bar magnet toward the coil or away from the coil, what will happen? The bar magnet will change the flux associated with the coil. The change in flux creates an EMF in the coil. The EMF causes flow of electric current in the coil. As a result, the needle of the galvanometer is deflected. Here also, when the steady current coil, when we bringing toward the coil, here what will happen? It will change the flux linked up with the coil. When the flux linked up with the coil changes, an EMF is induced. I think you know what is an EMF. It is the cause of electric current. You people studied the differences between potential difference and EMF. If you want to pass current, potential difference is the effect, whereas an EMF is the cause. So already in the coil electric charges are there. How can you measure EMF? The work done on the charge. The work done on the charge is nothing but EMF. The work done by the charge is nothing but potential difference. So in these all cases, when you are bringing north pole toward the coil or moving away from the coil, when you are bringing south pole towards and away, when the steady current coil bringing towards and away, in those all cases there is a common point. Can you catch? What is that common point? In every case there will be the rate of change of magnetic flux. The magnetic flux associated with coil will changes with the time. That is called the rate of change of magnetic flux induces an EMF in this coil. The rate of change of magnetic flux induces an EMF in this coil. That EMF causes flow of electrons inside the coil. As a result, the needle is deflected. So these are all observations. So that is why this phenomena is nothing but electromagnetism. Whenever the flux, here the coil is subjected to varying magnetic fields, then what happened? Electric current is induced. So how can we define electromagnetism? Electric currents were induced in a closed coil when they are subjected to varying magnetic fields. So all observation in these two experiments. So Michael Faraday has arranged in the form of law. So that law is called Faraday law. That law is called Faraday law. So before talking Faraday law, now here I want to write electromagnetism. What is an electromagnetism? Electric currents induced in a closed coils when they are subjected to varying magnetic fields. So this phenomenon is called electromagnetism. So demonstrated Michael Faraday and Henry independently. Now in Faraday law, so what is the purpose of Faraday law? Now we are going to measuring an induced EMF when coil is subjected to varying magnetic field and EMF is induced. Now we are going to talking on what factors that induced EMF will be dependent. Now how can we measure an induced EMF when coils are subjected to varying magnetic fields? So according to Faraday law, according to Faraday experiments, in those all cases only one concept. What is that? The rate of change of magnetic flux. Here an induced EMF, the magnitude of an induced EMF is equal to the rate of change of magnetic flux. So this is Faraday law. What is epsilon here? The magnitude of an EMF, which is equal to the rate of change of magnetic flux. If the rate of change of magnetic flux increases, an induced EMF is also increases. If the rate of change of magnetic flux decreases, an induced EMF is also decreases. Again here The flux depends upon other factors. You people studied. Phi is depends upon formula BA cos theta. Here B is equal to strength of the magnetic field. A is equal to area of the coil. Theta is equal to what? Angle. Angle between the magnetic field and the plane of the coil. The plane of the coil. On those factors, here the flux will be dependent. Out of them, any value changes, the flux is also changes. So, according to Faraday law, an induced EMF is equal to the rate of change of magnetic flux. But here, we want to know the direction of an induced EMF. To know the direction of an induced EMF, another scientist, Russian scientist, he thoroughly studied the mechanism behind an induced EMF. The name of the scientist is Lynch. So, if you want to understand the direction of an induced EMF, once again I want to brought Faraday experiment. Now you take, this is a coil, this is a bar magnet. So, when we are bringing bar magnet toward the coil, so this arrow indicates what? The bar magnet is moving toward the coil. Here what happened? So, this is the direction of B magnetic field. And now what is this? The direction of magnetic field of bar magnet. So, when bar magnet is bringing toward the coil, inside the coil, the current is induced in the anti-clockwise direction, like this. Now what happened? The coil behaves like a north pole. The current induced in anti-clockwise direction. Now what will happen? Here an induced EMF is also creates another magnetic field in the direction of opposite to the bar magnet. Here current is induced and EMF is induced like this. This is the direction of an EMF. This induced EMF creates another magnetic field. In which direction? In the direction of opposite to the bar magnet, like this. This is B, another magnetic induction. Here the direction of induced EMF we are expressing in terms of this induced magnetic field. This induced magnetic field always in the opposite for this magnetic field. Due to this magnetic field, EMF is induced. If you want to express the direction of induced EMF, we are depending upon this magnetic field. So, here an induced EMF creates another magnetic field in the opposite direction of bar magnet. In which direction bar magnet is moving? For that it is created in the opposite direction. Now, this is opposite. Not only here, in every case, in those two Faraday experiments, in every case an induced EMF creates another magnetic field in the direction of opposite to the bar magnet. So, we are expressing the direction of EMF due to this induced flux. It is opposite. That is why we can say the direction of an induced EMF always opposite to the change of magnetic flux which produced it. For example, you take, if the bar magnet is moving away from the coil, so this is the direction of magnetic field of bar magnet when it is moving away. Now the current is induced in the coil in clockwise direction, like this. Now it behaves like a south pole of the. Now this is the direction of induced current. Now what happened? This induced EMF again creates another magnetic field in the direction of opposite to the bar magnet. So we are expressing the direction of EMF on the basis of this magnetic field. This magnetic field is opposite to this one. So the direction of an induced EMF always opposes the rate of change of magnetic flux which produced it. So this is the mechanism behind the direction of an induced EMF. To honor Lenz, it is called Lenz law. What do you call? Lenz law. So according to Lenz law indicates only the direction of an induced EMF. Faraday law tells the magnitude of EMF. So according to Lenz law, the direction of an induced EMF always opposes, the direction of an induced EMF always opposes the rate of change of flux which produced it. The rate of change of flux due to the rate of change of flux. Due to what rate of change of flux? EMF induced. So its direction it always opposes. So this is Lenz law. It indicates the direction of an EMF. What is this? The magnitude of EMF. That is why in Faraday law we are always writing a minus symbol. Here we write minus. This minus indicates what? According to Lenz law, in Faraday law we are writing minus symbol here. Minus indicates the direction of an induced EMF. Here minus indicates opposes. So electromagnetism, Faraday law and Lenz law. Here d pi by dt. We take number of turns n pi here also. Now the universal application of electromagnetism. There is only one universe. There are thousands of applications are there. Out of them, I want to bring one universal application of this electromagnetism. And universal application of important application, not ordinary, and universal important application of electromagnetism. That is generation of alternating current. What is that? Generation of alternating current. All of us using alternating current throughout world, in all countries. So electric current is produced. It is the best application of electromagnetism. In all countries, electric current produced in the form of alternating current. Electric current is two types, AC and DC. So this is AC, alternating. It is abbreviated as AC. Not only in our country, throughout world, in all countries. So this is the best application. So the device, the arrangement which is using to produce alternating current or electric current, the device, that arrangement is called AC generator. That is called AC generator. Now I want to talk AC generator, how it is working, how it is producing electric current. Why that electric current is called alternating? AC generator. And the AC generator is nothing but a device or arrangement. So in this device, mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy. Mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy. So before going to talking working, the most essential parts in AC generator is coil. The coil is rotating in the uniform magnetic field. By rotating a coil, it is also called armature. Coil, it is also called armature. The coil is rotating in uniform magnetic field. When coil is rotating in uniform magnetic field, what will happen? The coil is subjected to varying magnetic fields. As a result, what happens? Inside the coil, an EMF is induced, which causes electric current, roughly speaking, like this. So, to produce uniform magnetic field, we take the powerful magnetic poles, like this. Between them, there is a uniform magnetic field, which is shown by equal distance parallel lines. What is the symbol of uniform magnetic field? Equal distance parallel lines. In this uniform magnetic field, AC generator is provided a coil. It is also called armature, like this. So, which is connected to the circuit. This is coil. Here the coil is rotated. Now, to rotate this coil, we are supplying some mechanical energy from outside. So, when the coil is rotating, what happens? The coil is subjected to varying magnetic field. Then what happens? Current is induced in this coil. That induced current established in this circuit. But here, when the coil is rotating, how the current is inducing, the nature of producing current, we want to know very clearly. According to Faraday law, here induced EMF in this coil, d pi by dt. Coil is revolving in the uniform magnetic field. As a result, what happened? The coil subjected to varying magnetic field. As a result, an EMF is induced in the coil, which causes flow of electric current in the coil. So, according to Faraday law, an induced EMF in this coil, we can write like this: the rate of change of magnetic flux. Here, the flux depends on d by dt. So, these are n, b, a cos theta. You think about these quantities. N is equal number of turns in the coil, b is equal strength of the magnetic field, here uniform magnetic field between the poles of the bar magnet, a is equal what? Area of the coil, theta is equal what? The angle between the magnetic field and the plane of the coil, on those four factors, here the magnetic flux will be dependent. Now, here N, B, A are constant. We take derivative of cos theta. Now, epsilon is equal N, B, A into derivative constant omega, cos theta derivative sin theta. According to Faraday law, an induced EMF in the AC generator. So, this is the equation. So, this equation gives the strength of EMF in AC generator, which is depends upon these factors. Area of the coil, you please carefully observe this equation. In AC generator, an induced EMF is depends upon we can calculate as per this equation, which depends upon n, b, a, omega sin theta. Omega is equal to angular velocity of the coil. Here the coil is rotating like this. This is the axis of rotation. The axis of rotation of the coil is perpendicular to the magnetic field. For this direction of magnetic field, the axis of rotation is perpendicular, and it also depends upon theta. This is important factor. When the coil is revolving, the plane of the coil making some angle with direction of magnetic field. Based on this angle, we can understand the nature of produced current in the AC generator. Now, how the coil is revolving in uniform magnetic field. So, an induced EMF is how much? N, B, A, omega sin theta. Now, we take like this simple diagram, north, south. So, this is the direction of magnetic field. It indicates the direction of magnetic field. In this coil, initially the coil, PQ or S, like this. What mean? The plane of the coil is perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field. No, you take like this. So, this is the direction of magnetic field. This arrow indicates what? Magnetic field. So, this is initial position of the coil. Here, this is the plane of the coil. This red indicates what? Plane of the coil. Now, plane of the coil is perpendicular to the magnetic field. So, this is initial position. But in the figure, we are showing like this. But here, plane of the coil, we are treating as vector quantity. When you are treating a vector quantity for this plane, we want direction. So, that is why we always drawn a perpendicular to the plane of the coil. That perpendicular gives its vector quantity like this. This is what? Perpendicular to the plane of the coil. This is plane of the coil. So, this perpendicular gives what? Its direction. This is the vector quantity A. A means plane of the vector. B is equal to this one. Now, what happened? Both are parallel. Now, you see this pencil and this direction. This is the direction of B. This is the direction of plane. Perpendicular to the plane. Both are parallel. Parallel means theta is equal to 0 degrees. If theta is equal to 0, what happened according to this equation? Sin 0 is equal to how much? 0. Now, sin 0, 0 into something 0. In this case, what happened? An induced EMF is 0. So, when the coil in the uniform magnetic field initially like this, the plane of the coil is perpendicular, but this perpendicular to the plane and the magnetic field both are parallel. We take this one and this one. Now, coil rotating not started. Next, what happened? The coil rotates through 90 degrees like this. We can show like now this is the direction of north, south. Now, the coil is like this. PQ or S. Here what happened? This is the direction of B. This is the direction of A. What is A? Plane vector. Vector of the plane of the coil. Both are parallel. Here what happened? When the coil is rotating like this 90 degrees. Now, what happened? This is the direction of B. So, this is the direction of A. Now, the perpendicular to the plane of the coil. exactly 90 degrees for this. So theta is equal to how much? 90 degrees. Here theta is equal to how much? Now the coil is rotated through 90 degrees. Sin 90 is how much? 1. It is maximum value. Now E becomes what happened? Maximum. So in the uniform magnetic field, when the coil is rotated through 90 degrees, inside the coil, the maximum EMF is induced. Again, next what happened? This is the direction of B. Now, like this. Now, like this. Reverse. Now, the perpendicular to the plane and the magnetic field both are opposite. This is the direction of B. This is the direction of A. Vector of the plane of the coil. Both are opposite. Opposite means theta is equal to like this. Same figure, reverse. Now what happened? PQ top, RS, theta is equal to how much? 180 degrees. So sin 180 is how much? Again 0. Now what happened? Again an induced EMF in the coil. When the coil rotates through 180 degrees, the induced EMF in the coil is again 0. Next, like this. Now what happened? PQ, RS. Here this is the direction of B, this is the direction of A. Here what is A? Perpendicular to the plane of the coil. Now the perpendicular plane of the coil and B both are mutually perpendicular, 90 degrees. Now how much angle the coil is rotated? 270 degrees. So sin 270 minus 1. Again E is equal maximum in the opposite direction. When the coil rotates through 270 degrees in the uniform magnetic field, again EMF is induced maximum in the opposite direction. Finally, again the coil reaches its initial position, same as this. Next, like this. PQ, same this one. This is the direction of B, this is the direction of B. Theta is equal to how much? 360 degrees. So sin 360 is equal to 0. Now when the coil rotates, this is initial position. Here 90 degrees. When the coil makes 90 degrees angle, induced EMF is maximum. When the coil makes 180 degrees, no EMF is induced. When coil rotates 270 degrees, again EMF is maximum in the opposite direction. When coil completes one rotation, 360, again EMF is 0 according to this equation. So this is an induced EMF when the coil is revolving inside the uniform magnetic field. If you want to understand the nature of this induced EMF, not only this, we may also know time period. The time taken for one complete rotation is called time period. In general, time period shown by capital T. Instead of taking numerical values, we are denoted by one alphabet, time period. To make 360 degrees angle, when the coil is rotated through 360 degrees angle, the time taken by the coil is called time period, which is shown by capital D. Now you take, so when the coil rotates through 90 degrees, how much time it will take here? T by 4. Here T is equal to 0. After making 90 degrees, the time taken by the coil 1 by 4th of time period. When coil makes 180 degrees, half of the time period. When the coil makes 270 degrees, 3 by 4th of time period. When the coil completes one rotation, the time taken by it called time period. Now, by plotting graph between EMF versus time period, we can understand the nature of an induced EMF in AC generator. If we take graph x axis and y axis. We take time period on the x axis like this. And on the y axis we take an EMF like this. Time period. Now why we take time period on the x axis? Known value. You take any graph, known value should be taken along the x axis, unknown value on the y axis. So on the x axis we move from left to right, the corresponding value increases. Here origin time is equal 0 on the x axis. So this length t by 4, 1 by 4th of time period. So this length half of the time period, this length 3 by 4th of time period. So we take time period on the x axis like this and an EMF on the y axis. There are EMF only two values, either 0, either maximum. So it is 0, this is maximum. On the y axis, this length gives what? The magnitude of an EMF. Here also EMF maximum. Now we take, when the time period is 0, EMF is how much? 0. After t by 4, after 1 by 4th of time period, and induced EMF is how much? Maximum. Like this. After half of the time period, again induced EMF 0. Now EMF 0 time period. After 3 by 4th of time period, again induced EMF is maximum, but in the opposite side. Now you take like this. Again after completion of time period, one revolution, EMF is how much? 0. Now you connect these points. So this graph sinusoidal wave front. What do you understand? In each rotation, here the current is maximum, again 0, again maximum, again 0. If you saw this figure, if you saw this graph, there are two important points are there. Here the current itself alternately changing its direction. Here the current is up, here current is down, again up, again down, up, down. The induced current in AC generator alternatively changing its direction, and also its magnitude also change alternatively, maximum 0, maximum 0. Okay, and current which changes its direction alternatively, and its magnitude also changes along with the time. Such a current is called alternating current. It is called, that is why this current is called alternating. It is abbreviated as AC, simply called AC current, AC. Why it is called alternating? Its direction and its value along with the time and it changes itself. That is why this current is called alternating current. Now we can also say that nothing but electric charges, the movement of electric charges in a medium, and itself is changing its direction. Alternatively, itself is changing its direction. That is why it is called alternating current. So like this, in AC generator, the current produced is called alternating current. So this is the story of generation of AC current in AC generator. This is the universal application of electromagnetism. Here what is the main reason? Mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy. When the coil is rotating, the coil is subjected to varying magnetic fields. As a result, EMF is induced in the coil. But here the rotation of coil in the magnetic field, it is very tough. It is not so easy. Why? Because if you want to rotate this coil inside the magnetic field, the mechanical energy we are supplying from outside. For example, if you take hydropower plants, whereas in hydropower plants, the armature is rotated with the help of kinetic energy of the falling water from the dam. In the hydropower plant, electric power is produced only in the rainy season. Why? Because in the rainy season, in the dam, the water is sufficient. Then the flowing water, the falling water kinetic energy also sufficient to rotate the armature inside the AC generator. So, whereas in thermal power plant, they are using steam. By supplying steam, they are rotating armature. Whereas in thermal power plant, coal is burning. Then what happened? Heat is produced. The heat is converted into steam. By using steam, the armature is rotated. Whereas in nuclear power plant, by using nuclear fuel, producing steam, again by using steam, the armature is rotated. So, this is the best application of electromagnetism. Now, you please write the questions for what is electromagnetism. Define Faraday law. Define Lenz law. Explain the working of AC generator with neat diagram. Okay, right. Thank you.